This sharp old man had a unique ability. He could see exactly how many people each person had killed in their lifetime. Without a word, he drew his blade and declared he would personally eliminate this bloodthirsty monster tonight. Though he himself was the sword saint, hands stained with plenty of blood, he said he'd never encountered someone who killed indiscriminately like this. What he didn't know was that those weren't kills. That number was how many times I had killed myself. The top-ranked hunter, Yendi, was celebrated as humanity's greatest hero. Behind closed doors, he was a murderous villain. So I killed myself over 4,000 times. Each death sent me back, until I reached the day 11 years ago, before Yendi ever awakened. Now I could feel the sword saint's pressure bearing down on me. There was zero chance he'd hear me out. I turned and ran. The old man blurred into motion and appeared behind me in an instant, sword slicing toward my neck. A stone caught my foot and sent me tumbling, narrowly dodging the strike. But in the sword saint's eyes, that made things worse. A nobody who could evade his blade? That only confirmed I was something dangerous. Just as he raised his sword for the finishing blow, he paused, muttering to himself as though talking to someone. From what I could piece together, whoever he was communicating with was telling him to capture me first, interrogate me, then decide. But there was no one near him. If he reported to others that I had over 4,000 kills, I'd become the Hunter Bureau's most wanted. Every hunter on the planet would be after me for the rest of my life. That outcome was worse than just dying here and resetting. From intel I'd gathered before, I knew the one thing this old man despised above all else: anyone talking about his grandchildren. So I opened my mouth. "Hey old man, how's the grandkid doing? Must be gorgeous. Being descended from the sword saint." I didn't even finish the sentence before my head separated from my body. I could see my own upside-down torso below me, and I never even saw him move. Honestly, I was impressed. I wanted that kind of speed for myself someday. But for now, that skill was about to become mine. A chime rang and I arrived in the revival space. Sword Saint's skill card generated. I stared at the panel, desperate for a gold card. Then I saw what was actually there, and froze. A Sword Saint with 0 S-rank skills. He'd reached world number 1 on a pile of mediocre cards. Impossible, there had to be hidden passives somewhere. I aimed at the 4 silver cards and grabbed at random. Come on, luck. Give me his ultimate move. Skill copy initiated. Returning to 24 hours prior. I woke with a jolt and immediately pulled up the system. Sword Ancestor, passive. Grants +1 to all skill levels. It wasn't flashy, but a universal level boost was never trash. Then a voice cut through from beside me. "Old man, keep it down. Some of us are trying to sleep." I turned around and reflexively apologized, then stopped cold. A red-haired man was lying right next to me. He looked at me with wide eyes, genuinely puzzled that I could see him. He was still scanning the area looking for the Sword Saint. I checked the system panel. Subject: from World 1. Failed to clear floor 100 of the tower. Current state: ghost. I'd copied something extraordinary without realizing it. Yendi only cleared floor 40 to become the world's top hunter. This man had reached floor 99. He'd almost certainly been the Sword Saint's mentor. I told him, with some nervousness, what had happened. "You probably can't get back to the Sword Saint, because I copied you over to my side." He stared at me in disbelief, then started wailing. "I want a refund. Even online shopping gives you a 7-day return window." I told him there was nothing either of us could do. He only cried harder. "I'm already dead, and now you're trafficking me?" I finally understood why the Sword Saint always seemed to be arguing with thin air. Having this man in your ear every moment of every day, you'd lose your mind too. I vented to the air in front of me, explaining that I'd planned to avoid the Sword Saint for the rest of my life. I hadn't expected to accidentally copy his most annoying attachment. He didn't get why I'd want to avoid the old man. Said that despite the constant grumbling, the Sword Saint was genuinely kind. I reminded him, "Doesn't the old man have that skill? The one that shows kill counts? And the number over my head reads 4091. Sure enough, even he made a face at that. "Looking at you, there's no way you actually killed that many people." So I laid it all out. The reset skill, the 4,000 deaths, Yendi. Everything. By the end, something like respect had crept into his expression. Killing yourself over 4,000 times for revenge. That was a different breed of stubbornness. "What's your name?" he asked. "Jean Gongzi." He walked around me slowly, sizing me up. Someone this ruthless toward themselves might actually have what it takes. He told me to go hunt something, show him what I could do. We reached the hunting grounds. After a messy fight, I managed to take down a few slimes. "I'm not exactly gifted in combat," I admitted. He disagreed. "Actually, you have a remarkable talent, and you might not even know it. You have no combat ability. Your form is terrible. Your physique is average. But you have something no one else has. You're not afraid to die. Probably because I've already done it 4,000 times," I said awkwardly. "That's exactly the point," he continued. "Overcoming the fear of death. That's priceless. You might not realize it, but you're something special." Then he asked to confirm my skill. Was it copy or steal? "Copy, I wasn't lying." He burst out laughing. "If it's copy, then the Sword Saint still has another version of me. I wonder which one of you becomes the greater hunter. Let me help you. I'll make you stronger than that old man, and then we'll clear floor 100 together." I was ready to go all in. Then the next morning hit me like a wall. He had me up at 4 a.m. for training. "It's 4 in the morning. Are you insane?" I had no choice. After watching my performance, he told me I needed special accelerated training. The problem? It required a lot of money. Then he had an idea so obvious it almost hurt. Buy lottery tickets. As someone who'd lived through this day for 1,000 times, I knew the winning numbers. When I walked in to claim the jackpot, the clerk couldn't believe his eyes. Highest prize in history, 53,000 gold coins. He said this would need the manager. The manager arrived and immediately escorted me to the VIP room. The moment the door opened, a mountain of gold coins almost blinded me. Converted to cash, this was 5.5 billion. Enough to last multiple lifetimes. But I'd made a promise to clear the tower, so I had to follow through. I told the manager I wanted to purchase a guild honorary membership. 10,000 gold, paid in full. Guild protection was non-negotiable. And I had one specific request. If anyone asks who won the jackpot, say it was a guild honorary member. No one was going to be stupid enough to attack a guild-affiliated individual. The man beside me, invisible to everyone else, gave my shoulder a pat. "You don't need me worrying about you." Leaving the merchant house, he suggested we buy high-grade elixirs, the best money could buy. He rubbed his fingers together and said I should know what expensive meant in this context. "What? The rest of the jackpot only covers for bottles." I pulled out my phone and checked the current hunter rankings. As expected, no sign of him in the top 300. "Come on," I said. "I'll show you what it looks like to get the best for the least." I brought him to the lower district. He raised an eyebrow. What kind of alchemist would operate here? "The real geniuses always hide in the most ordinary places," I told him. "This one isn't ordinary. She's extraordinary." We hadn't gone far when I spotted a young girl in a struggle with a landlord. She'd clearly fallen behind on rent and he was taking her things. She ended up on her knees crying. I walked up to her. "Still open for business? I want to buy something on the expensive side." She looked up through tears. "Expensive? How much and what kind?" When I said the number, she practically leapt to her feet. 2,000 gold. Can you really spend that much? On the surface, I was just a customer. What they didn't know was that this girl, 10 years from now, would be the 5th-ranked alchemist in the world and founder of the Alchemy City Guild. Ordinary people waited a year and a half just to buy her medicine. I needed to get on her good side now. She led us inside. The state of the place was something else. Real geniuses really do live this way. She asked what formula we needed. He whispered the ingredient list to me. I relayed it to her. She looked at the formula once and immediately understood not just the method, but the underlying logic built into every ingredient. This formula had taken him tens of thousands of trials in his previous life. "How long will it take?" I asked. "For days. If my equipment hadn't been taken, 3. I agreed without hesitation. I would have waited 2.5 years for this medicine under normal circumstances. On day 4, she personally delivered 3 crates to my door, far more efficient than anywhere he'd recommended. After the handoff, she asked me something that caught me off guard. Why would someone commission medicine this expensive from a nobody like her? I couldn't tell her I knew she'd be running one of the world's greatest guilds someday. Because you seem like a genuinely good person, I said. This world needs more people like us. Let's both keep going. Thank you. Let's change this world together. The next day, he brought me to floor 3 of the tower to test the elixir. I drank one down, a faint taste of honey. Then a surge of power erupted through my entire body. My senses sharpened to an absurd degree. I could count the hairs inside his nose. This is spiritual energy flowing through you, he explained. My heartbeat thundered, faster and faster. Everything around me seemed to slow, like watching a film at half speed. Then a goblin lunged at me from behind. I could track every motion of its attack with perfect clarity. But my body refused to keep up. Learn to direct the energy flow inside you, he said calmly from the side. Move. Legs. Just move. I was screaming internally. Then thump. A rush of energy pushed from my heart down to my legs. I burst sideways and barely cleared the goblin's swing. I channeled everything into my feet, drew my dagger, and launched myself at it. Drove the blade into its chest and pushed spiritual energy into the steel. The goblin went down, but so did I. My body felt like a wrung-out towel, and he chose that exact moment to deliver unsolicited commentary. Painful, right? You could always just die, you'll reset anyway. Very efficient, really. Actually, that's exactly why I designed this training the way I did. He didn't finish. I'd already died. We arrived in the revival space. He looked around with the curiosity of someone seeing it for the first time. I'd been here over 4,000 times. This is where I copied Yendi's skills and the old man's, I said, pointing behind me. We both turned and both went still. System. We'll randomly copy a skill from a monster or beast man. I'd assumed this only worked on humans. Monsters too? He threw his hands up at the unfairness of it all. Why does the coolest skill go to this deadweight instead of me? I ignored him and reached out to grab a card. He thought my random pick was wasteful. I told him the cards were floating with their backs toward me. I couldn't read them, just grab. Then he pointed out he could see the fronts. Right, he floated everywhere. He could read every card face. Having him around meant my blind draws were about to get a whole lot smarter. I told him to start reading. First card, gecko breeding. You are permanently in mating season. Attracting the opposite sex requires 0 effort. Second card, key to beauty. Instantly master seductive vocal techniques, including the goblin coo. I died inside. What kind of skills were these? He earnestly recommended the first one, arguing a real man should embrace his masculine appeal. I ignored him, jumped forward, and snatched the second card. I woke up a day earlier, no penalty for the choice this time. He sulked viciously about the plan backfiring. Don't be salty. Let's run floor 3 again. Back in the hunting zone, I downed another elixir. Energy flowed through me instantly, like a second engine kicking in. I locked onto a goblin ahead and sprinted toward it. Just as it raised its weapon, I activated Key to Beauty and said one syllable. The goblin stopped dead in its tracks, dazed, disoriented, suddenly feeling like it had found a kindred spirit. In that moment of confusion, I drew the dagger across its throat. It was still saying that syllable as it hit the floor. He was furious, accusing me of using underhanded tricks on an innocent goblin. All skills exist to be used, I said. There's no such thing as underhanded. He ground his teeth as I walked away looking incredibly pleased with myself. We moved on to the Goblin King's chamber. Same trick, same result. One clean kill. Then my body lit up with a red aura. System. Level increased to level 1. He studied the aura's color and said my energy type was likely fire or blood attribute. Same category as Yendi's fire attribute. For reference. Just a theory for now. He said I was ready to try floor 6. I told him I wanted to go straight for floor 10's boss. Do you know how long other hunters take just to reach floor 10? I proposed a bet. If I clear it in one death, you have to address me as Jin Gongzi, my lord, from here on. He scoffed, then bit. If you lose, you call me master for life. You can reset so death costs you nothing. Deal. Deal. Losers the disgrace. From outside, I looked like a lunatic arguing with empty air. I pushed the door open. Inside, rows of terrifying porcelain dolls, staring back. They all spoke in unison. Will you play hide and seek with us? The entire room ignited. Roaring fire on every side. Floor 10 boss. Hellfire girl. I wrapped spiritual energy around my body as a shield. He told me the goal. Find the one real doll among thousands and destroy it to clear the floor. But your shield will last 10 minutes tops. You seriously bet you'd clear this in one death? You think one elixir makes you that powerful? Do you have any idea what you're up against? He kept needling me as I battled the heat. The old man spent 30 minutes checking every single doll before finding the real one. You should just concede already. He was practically preening, but he didn't know I already had a plan. As my energy neared its limit, I noticed one doll standing slightly apart from the others. I walked over and picked it up. The doll kept repeating, "Not me, not me," as its body began to melt like ice cream. Then my shield hit its limit and shattered. The fire swallowed me whole. I landed in the revival space. The moment I caught my breath, I told him to start reading the skill cards. He went straight for the gold one first. Hellfire domain. Create a 2-kilometer radius fire domain. No one may leave without your permission. Take this one, he said. Only gold card in the stack. A domain that recreates hellfire, way too good. I didn't even respond. I had him read the last remaining card. He made a face like he'd bitten something rotten. He kept pushing the gold card. I ignored him and reached for the last one. He was still urging me toward the gold card when I grabbed it. While I was thinking, if only the real doll had spiritual energy to resist the flames, why didn't the fake ones burn either? A-rank skill. Fire alert. You are completely immune to fire damage. However, water and ice damage deals 300% more. Now I was the one taunting him. With this, clearing floor 10 is just eliminating fire. This floor was made for me. Then the system cut in. Warning. This revival will carry the skill card's embedded penalty. You will experience the Hellfire Girl's psychological trauma. Then everything went dark. The girl was born in a time of famine. Every day was a battle for survival through begging. Until she met a kind-looking man who called himself a doctor, offering food and a home. She went with him to his grand estate. She thought her life was finally changing for the better. It was only the beginning of the nightmare. Behind the walls, she saw the truth. The man was a monster. He lured children from all over, locked them in cages, and sold them in an underground auction. Then one night, the estate steward dropped a candle while on patrol. The entire manor went up in flames. The doctor fled, saving only himself and his valuables. The children in the cages were forgotten entirely. The girl and the others were consumed by the fire. Trauma experience complete. We snapped back to 24 hours earlier. Neither of us spoke for a long time. He finally said it quietly. That girl is a monster now. Those children have long since passed on in this world. Grieving won't help. What matters now is finding the real doll and clearing floor 10. I didn't say anything back, but I knew I had to do something for her. We went back into floor 10. Do you remember that gold skill card in the revival space? I asked. You can create a 2-kilometer fire domain. No one can leave without your permission. We're not the first to attempt floor 10. So why did everyone who failed before manage to escape unharmed? Because the boss let them go on purpose. I walked back into the burning manor. The dolls began chanting the same words. Play with us, big brother. Sure, let's play hide and seek. Oddly, none of them hid. They all sat quietly in neat rows, waiting. Is it you? No, not me. He noticed I wasn't playing to win. This felt more like a search. Right? I said. They were just children once. In the end, I found a different doll, the one kept apart inside an iron cage. I reached out and touched its head gently. Found you. Now you come find me. The doll began to melt. Slowly, peacefully. And as it faded, the face it wore became the one it had always had. A real face. A small smile. Thank you, kind big brother. System. Congratulations. Challenger Jin Gongzi. Floor 10 cleared. Rewards will be distributed upon entering floor 11. Outside, he finally said something that sounded like a compliment. Well done. I didn't expect you to clear it that way. Then I reminded him our bet. I died once and still cleared it. Starting now, you address me as Jin Gongzi, my lord. He immediately appealed to our partnership, pointed out that he'd cleared floor 99, that together we were an unbeatable pair. I let him finish. Address me as Jin Gongzi, my lord. Every time. Within 2.5 hours of clearing floor 10, guild representatives were already finding me. They came with offers, then counterbids, then absurd counterbids. 50,000 gold plus vice president rank. The cat in my arms suddenly spoke. Then it jumped down and transformed. A stunning woman. Rank 3 on the hunter list, the Merchant Alliance Guild Master, known as Countess. The other guild masters had arrived at the same time. Rank 5 Sky Dance Sect, Viper. Rank 4 Pantheon Heretic Inquisitor. Self-Defense Corps Vice Master, Holy Knight. Black Dragon Guild Master, Dark Sorceress. I understand why you're all here, but if I join one guild, I insult the others. So here's my proposal. We play cards. Whoever wins gets my membership. But if I win, you all agree to let me join every guild simultaneously, with equal standing as a guild master. Bold. I like it, the Countess said. She accepted first. No cheating, she added. Agreed. And no using skills either. Fine by me. We're broke anyway. Works. Let's move fast. I have things to do. I told the invisible man beside me. If you tell me what cards they're holding and help me win, you never have to call me my lord again. His eyes went wide. He couldn't believe I was being this generous. He sprang into action immediately. This one's got us straight. Fold this round. Got it. I fold. I set my cards down. That one thinks a pair is intimidating. Push him. Raising. This one is chasing a full house. Checked his bottom card, he won't get there. All in. 3 guild masters eliminated in rapid succession. Only Black Dragon remained. He gave me a hand signal. She's holding a diamond flush. I glanced at my own hand. Let's settle this in one round. Dark Sorceress also checked her cards. Perfect timing. Chips in all of them. Dark Sorceress. Diamond flush. Jin Gongzi, full house. Jin Gongzi wins. He cheated. There's no other explanation. The Sky Dance Sect Master shouted. Prove it, I said calmly. And please don't throw around accusations without evidence. I stood and straightened my jacket. I trust all guild masters will honor their word. Now he could stop calling me my lord. He made up for it immediately by calling me brat repeatedly, in rapid succession. Before I left, I dropped one more piece of information. Floors 11 through 20 all share a theme. Roleplay. That's the floor 10 reward hint. The countdown to floor 11 began. Hunters crowded the tower entrance, buzzing with excitement. Suddenly, something like an angel NPC appeared in the sky above. That world clings to survival under the Demon King's assault. Those who wish to bear the title of hero, declare your intention. The Sword Saint was first. He'd appeared in the air above the crowd and immediately announced himself, entering floor 11. One by one, the guild masters followed. Then a wave of reporters seemed to materialize from nowhere. Jin Gongzi, did you really solo clear floor 10? Are you genuinely a level 1 hunter? I'll solo floor 22. You'll see. I turned, spoke the words, and was transmitted inside. Even the Sword Saint stared. Before us, thousands of soldiers clashing with uncountable monsters. System. Supply line defense. The Ijing Empire is under attack. Objective, hold the port. Failure blocks access to floor 12. Every hunter charged forward immediately, rallying around the old sword saint, tearing into the monsters. I stood back and watched. The tower was delivering my floor 10 completion rewards. You may view the complete map of floors 11 through 20. You may observe all NPC abilities, locations, and status. You may select one item from the secret shop that exists somewhere in floors 11 to 20. I accepted it all without batting an eye. See? This is a meritocracy. He erupted. Merit? That was pure dumb luck, and you know it. Who says I have no skill? Let me show you what real leadership looks like. I activated the skill. Display NPC directory. Filter for. Possesses command soldier's ability. He finally understood what I was doing. You have me as a guide. Why not build genuine strength and fight properly? Doesn't this feel like cheating? Not at all. Skills exist to be used. Transforming a basic skill into a battlefield advantage. Doesn't that prove I have tactical intelligence? I followed the map's indicator to General Yakking. General, I have a favor to ask. Please kill me. The general's eyes nearly fell out of his head. I have a hidden skill. If I die, every soldier on this field receives divine protection. The general said he couldn't possibly kill a great hero. I picked up a dagger. If you won't, I'll have to do it myself. I'd rather give my life to someone as honorable as you than fall to a monster. To think such a curse would fall upon our nation and drag even a great hero down with it. Thank you. I'll make it painless. You are a true hero. System. Randomly copying General Yakking's skill. What followed stunned every hunter on the field. One man, holding a sword, riding a horse, leading an NPC army into battle. The magnificent General Jin Gongzi. Here. Turn right here. Using the full map to track monster positions, I led the troops straight for the Demon King. The NPCs chanted, "Long live Ijing! Long live the hero!" This was the item I'd chosen from the secret shop. Legend. The day the Demon King arrives is the day the Holy Sword's bearer descends. He shall receive the absolute devotion of all Ijing's people. I was basking in it. He couldn't take it anymore. I teach you spiritual energy, and you waste it sharpening your hearing for applause? It sounds incredible. I can't help it. Then a pack of goblin small fry charged in from the side. And behind them, floor 11's Demon King. Goblin King. Activated Kita Beauty. One syllable. Stunned. Holy Sword Swing. Done. As the Goblin King crashed to the ground, the soldiers erupted in cheers. The remaining goblins scattered. Floor 11 cleared. Contribution ranking. First place, Jin Gongzi, Great General of the People. Everyone was still processing that floor 11 had fallen in a single day. He turned away, refusing to acknowledge me, furious that I'd relied on tricks. He valued fundamentals above everything. I promised him I'd actually learn swordsmanship properly going forward. Really? You mean it? That's the spirit. You finally see what I bring to this partnership? He floated around beaming like an overgrown child. Then the system transmitted us to floor 12. As I materialized, a small girl came sprinting toward me. She had the look of the heretic inquisitor. Must have used a shrinking skill. Suddenly the sword saint attacked, and was deflected. Wait, his actual target was me. He pointed his sword at me and stated he would kill this monster. If you kill Jin Gongzi, it'll be an embarrassment to all 5 major guilds. Sword Saint. Do you perhaps have a misunderstanding about him? The Inquisitor put on her most innocent expression. I have no obligation to explain myself. Move aside or I'll cut you down too. Then talking is off the table. Holy Arte Dispatch. She teleported the Holy Knight and Viper directly above the Sword Saint. The old man didn't even shift his feet. 2 sword strokes. Viper launched back several meters, Holy Knight's face cut open. He hadn't moved a single step. Even surrounded by 3 guild masters, not a trace of anxiety. "Countess, lend me 10,000 gold," the Inquisitor said out of nowhere. 15% interest. Pay within 3 months and I waive it. Don't misunderstand. I'm not after your sword. You absolute freeloader. You think money grows on trees? A coin pouch materialized overhead, raining gold. Then I'll happily take that. Holy Arte Divine Offering. Physical Enhancement Holy Knight Viper. Duration 300 seconds each. Sword Saint, you're very strong. But are you certain you want to face all 4 of us? And the Countess's vault is still full. Check whether you die first, or her treasury runs dry first. The Countess was not thrilled about any of this. The dark sorceress stepped forward. Make that 5. Jin Gongzi joined all 5 guilds simultaneously, with equal rank as guildmaster. Threatening him means declaring war on all of us. You truly intend to go to war with 5 major guilds at once? I told him this was exactly why I'd insisted on joining all 5 guilds after winning that card game. Even if the Sword Saint could match an entire army alone, I now had an army behind me. Well played, he muttered beside me. Old man really is my only true disciple. What does that make me? I stepped forward. Can we stop fighting? We were summoned here as heroes. The priority is clearing floor 12, not tearing each other apart. The Sword Saint said he disagreed but reluctantly lowered his weapon. I said to everyone, if you trust me, I can resolve this. He revealed his skill. Lie detector. Detect whether the target is speaking truthfully. Effective on NPCs and monsters. This is the skill that got me the Vice Master position, Holy Knight said. If you trust me, I can verify what each of you says. I agreed immediately. Skill displayed. Lie detector. Holy Knight, you're probably the only one in this room who has never killed anyone. Am I right? Then I trust you. The Sword Saint probably saw a 0 over the Holy Knight's head. Hence the instinctive trust. So you two agree? The Sword Saint sheathed his blade. Have you killed over 4,000 people? Yes, that's correct. The Sword Saint exploded. You see, this man. How many atrocities have these guilds used him to commit? That was a lie, Holy Knight said. The Sword Saint couldn't process it. He said yes, but he lied. That means he didn't actually kill 4,000 people. Anything else you'd like to ask? I smiled. He didn't kill them. Isn't it obvious someone trained him as an elite assassin? Yes, I'm an elite assassin. I jumped in cheerfully. Also a lie, Holy Knight confirmed. The Sword Saint looked like he was about to have an existential crisis. It's impossible. He can't have never killed anyone. He has killed, Holy Knight said. Exactly 1 person. True. But that person was a genuine monster, and they moved to kill him first. True. Holy Knight confirmed again. The Sword Saint looked like the ground had dropped out from under him. He muttered beside me, Old man, I told you before, don't rely on a skill completely. I believe the Sword Saint has misunderstood me rather deeply. I'm wondering, does anyone owe me an apology? I watched the conflict cross the old man's face. Would he admit it publicly, or protect his pride? He bent at the waist and apologized without hesitation. I sincerely regret my actions. I will never again decide who deserves to die based solely on a skill reading. Whatever you ask of me as recompense, I accept. Just let this old man keep his life. I still have tower floors to climb. Holy Knight confirmed. Every word, the truth. I walked forward, facing the bowing Sword Saint. Sword Saint, please teach me swordsmanship. I could forgive you for nothing, and that would actually be the gracious move. But that would make me seem more magnanimous than you, and that's awkward. He's speaking entirely truthfully, Holy Knight said, visibly bewildered. The Sword Saint grabbed me in a full embrace. I misread such a kind young man. I'll teach you everything. Every skill I have. Call me Grandpa Marcus from now on. How old are you? I have a very kind granddaughter. Let me introduce you to. I immediately declined. No, that's fine, really. You don't find her interesting? His tone dropped a full octave and something dark flickered in his expression. I broke into a cold sweat. Then the system chimed. You ranked first in floor 11. Priority reward incoming. Please choose one of the following. Guardian Goddess. The goddess who protects Ijing is moved by your efforts. Choose to inherit the position of Prime Minister, Supreme Commander, or Knight Captain of Ijing. You will also receive the corresponding authority, abilities, and prestige. Choosing the goddess reward forfeits the Demon King's reward. Show you Demon King's offer. In addition to the goddess equivalent rewards, if you kill all other top 10 heroes, the Demon King will teleport you directly to floor 99. Only one hero may receive the Demon King's reward. If multiple choose it, one will be selected at random. The Demon King's offer was genuinely tempting, straight to floor 99. This is a trap, he warned me quietly. I know it's a trap, because Yendi, who would never have passed up an offer like this, still only cleared to floor 40. The room noticed I'd gone quiet. What if we just go to floor 99 and let a monster kill me once, then reset? How about it? He went dark. Don't. Floor 99 has no Demon King class monster. It has something far worse. He stopped himself from saying more. And you can't kill any of the top 10 at your current level anyway. Fine. I'm passing on both rewards. You're skipping the goddess reward too? He looked confused. I didn't answer. I turned to everyone else and announced. I was declining all rewards from floor 11. Then I asked, before any of you choose, I have a condition. Promise I need from each of you. In the future, when I make a request of this group, I ask that you all agree to it just once. Nothing criminal. Nothing extreme. If that's acceptable, then yes, I'll tell you everything about floor 11. That seems like a fair trade. I agree. Everyone agreed. I walked them through floor 11 in full detail. Then the Heretic Inquisitor spoke up about the Demon King's offer. Going straight to floor 99, it really does sound like a killing game, but the person who chooses it will be at a severe disadvantage because we have Holy Knight and a lie detector. I'll take the Imperial Commander rank. Guardian Corps. Foreign Minister. Prime Minister. Absolutely don't choose the Demon King. Then I'll take Treasurer. The system tallied the results. Reward forfeited. 1. Goddess reward selected. 8. Demon King reward selected. 1. Holy Knight lie detector now, the Inquisitor said. Interesting. Despite the lie detector, someone still chose the Demon King. Real-life social deduction. Someone in this room was playing both sides. The Holy Knight began asking one by one. But somehow everyone was telling the truth. Not one person had taken the Demon King's offer. Even me, who had passed, was verified. Then who is it? The Dark Sorceress demanded. Holy Knight told everyone to stay calm. The traitor may have a skill that conceals lies, or possibly a split personality. The Sword Saint turned on Holy Knight. You could be the traitor yourself, because only you decide what counts as a lie, or maybe you're covering for the 5 guilds' reputation. The Dark Sorceress didn't appreciate that. You're accusing us now? Holy Knight stepped in immediately to defuse the tension. The Sword Saint raises a valid point, but let's not let speculation destroy what trust we have. Then the Inquisitor tilted her head with a very particular look at the 3 remaining heroes who weren't guild members. Holy Knight saw it and shouted, "Wait!" But the Inquisitor's hands were already moving. Holy Arte, dispatch. She and Viper blurred across the room. 2 heroes killed before anyone could react. Speed beyond Holy Knight's ability to stop. You monsters. Your true colors are showing. The Sword Saint drew his blade and moved to intervene. But the Inquisitor had already teleported above the 3rd hero. System. 3 heroes have died. They were not working for the Demon King, despite knowing she just killed 3 innocents. She was more concerned about the unsolvable traitor problem than her own actions. The Sword Saint attacked her in full fury. Viper barely managed to intercept it, losing an arm in the process. With the Sword Saint still advancing, the other guild masters moved to support. The situation was unraveling. Holy Knight stepped forward and said something no one expected. I'm transferring all authority to Jin Gongzi. He is the only one who definitely didn't choose a reward, so he's definitely not the traitor. Please stop the Sword Saint. The Inquisitor, still healing, agreed. Better to centralize power than escalate further. He muttered beside me. Did you calculate all of this from the start? Giving up rewards to end up with double the authority? Impressive. At the time I was just thinking about the 5 guilds' dynamics. If I'd taken a reward and a traitor appeared, I'd be their first suspect. That's why I declined everything. The authority was a bonus I didn't expect. Now for the Sword Saint. Sword Saint. Please introduce your granddaughter to me. So please listen to a man who might become your granddaughter's future partner. It worked immediately. The Sword Saint paused. Fine. Say what you have to say. You've all overlooked something in the mission briefing. The Demon King's core is on floor 20. Our focus shouldn't be on the traitor. This whole traitor situation is a trap, designed by the tower to make us destroy ourselves from within. If we clear floor 20 and destroy the Demon King's core, the Demon King's reward disappears. The problem solves itself. The system responded immediately. Mission initiated. Outside, a strange blood rain began to fall. Every soldier it touched lost their will to fight, overwhelmed with panic. Choyu Demon King has appeared. Foolish humans. You think summoning a handful of so-called heroes can stop us? Floor 12's Demon King was now standing in front of me. And one traitor among the heroes had already driven us to the edge of mutual destruction. I told everyone to stop worrying about who the traitor was. Our immediate objective is defeating the Demon King. If the Demon King falls, the traitor reward becomes void. I called up the map. The castle perimeter has been encircled by monsters. We are summoned warriors. Act like it. You are the core captain. Assemble the warrior bands now. Holy Knight, your foreign minister now. Find the civil NPCs and the Emperor. Keep the walls held. I gave each of them a role. The Inquisitor, I told her she was a liability, but now she was Supreme Commander, so go stabilize the soldiers on the wall. And I quietly planned to go after the Demon King alone. But as I was stepping outside the walls, the dark sorceress appeared in my path. She had instant teleportation anywhere she could see. She said the wall needed me more than the front line. She saw floor 11. That holy sword rallied every NPC soldier just by being held. She extended a hand and asked for my consent. The teleport required consent and physical contact. We appeared together on the battlements. The blood rain had broken every soldier's spirit. They stood hollow-eyed and sagging. The dark sorceress walked to the edge. Warriors of Ijing, rise. You are this empire's shield. You are its last wall. As long as you stand, the empire stands. For the empire, for yourselves, rise. God will protect us. She gripped my hand and we raised the holy sword together. It blazed with blinding light, washing across the entire wall. Every soldier it touched regained their fire. I asked her to teleport me to the front lines. You want to charge in? You want to die? I want to win. I have a secret skill. I gave her a confident smile. Then the Demon King raised its great sword, and the air above it twisted into a massive energy vortex. The blast hit the great hall from a distance and leveled it. System. One hero killed. He was not serving the Demon King. The Demon King had struck the hall where the others had gathered. The Sword Saint and Inquisitor escaped. The hall was empty except for the Countess. I extended my hand to the dark sorceress again. She took it without a word. In her grip, I felt the anger she was holding back. As we hit the front lines, every monster turned on us simultaneously. I downed a potion. The one history remembers as a hero isn't the person who lived 30 years. It's the one who gave the world 30 seconds when it mattered most. I have to hold until the others arrive. I stepped forward. Behind me, the Sword Saint's voice came through. He was guiding me mid-combat. Use the Holy Sword's light to break their vision. In a fight, there is no absolute second. There is only relative. Your blade must be faster than that relative second. Don't overextend. Keep the swing rhythm clean. Strike down and immediately pull back for the next cut. Let nothing distract you. Keep swinging. Rhythm first. Dodge. Then reset for the next strike. Enter the flow that belongs only to you. System: Hunter Jin Gongzi. Rank increased to D class. The Sword Saint and the others finally broke through to the front line. There you are, kid. You're something. Let's fight together. Warriors. Kill every one of those creatures threatening this empire. Your left side is mine. No one standing on my right has ever died. The Sword Saint told the others to give me space. He could see I'd entered a rare rhythm state. Jin Gongzi, the dark sorceress called out. I surfaced from the flow. She had her hand extended again. They were going to teleport directly at the Demon King. I wasn't sure why, but in that moment, I felt something unexpected. A reluctance to leave. We hadn't known each other long. We'd had a real trust crisis. None of it should have added up to attachment. And yet it did. He seemed to sense it. Now is the time to go kill that Demon King. Even if they forget everything that happened here, that doesn't mean none of it happened. At least you, this deadweight, and me, the man who cleared 99 floors, were here. The Demon King laughed. A traitor already walks among you. You think you can stop me like this? I let go of the sorceress's hand. Both hands on the holy sword. I leapt toward the Demon King alone. Brat? You're here to kill me? No. I'm here so you can kill me, he sputtered. I was already in the revival space. From the Demon King's skill roster, I chose Spirit Summoning. Summon those killed by your own hand. Transform them into goblins, skeletons, or other creature types. 1 week cooldown. You're not considering other options? I don't want anyone else to die, I said. Until floor 20, this is the right skill. Time reset to the previous day, back in the coffee shop. I looked around. Everyone was here. No one had been lost. Thank God. As the floor 10 completion reward, I know floor 11's mission details. I'll share everything, but you have to agree to a condition. In the future, if I ask something of this group, you must agree to it once. Nothing illegal. Nothing over the line. Since it's not an unreasonable request, I agree. Everyone agreed. I walked them through floor 11 in complete detail. I even told them a Demon King would appear in floor 12. Before leaving, I asked Holy Knight to accompany me somewhere. I needed his help. On the way, he mentioned the Sword Saint had been tailing us. The old man passed the street at this exact time every day. If he spotted me, the kill count would set him off again. A short while later, I brought the Sword Saint and Holy Knight to the girl's shop. I'm introducing you too. She might become the self-defense corps supplier one day. She was overwhelmed. She seized my hand. You're an angel. You're genuinely an angel. The Sword Saint appeared, tension rising. Holy Knight had already received intelligence about the old man's tendency to attack other hunters. He moved to block. The girl stepped in front of me and said I was her benefactor. She wouldn't let the Sword Saint touch me. The truth was, I'd led the Sword Saint here deliberately, because from the information available, the old man never harmed genuinely good people. He would see a 0 above Holy Knight's head, and with both Holy Knight and the girl defending me, he'd have no grounds to act. The Sword Saint lowered his blade and turned to leave. I caught up to him outside. Tomorrow at noon, forest north of the city. I'll explain everything. The next day, I met the Sword Saint in the forest. I have a prophecy skill. That's how I knew about your detective eye, and why it showed 4093 over my head. If that's true, guess the number I'm tracing with my fingers behind my back. I hesitated 1 second too long. The Sword Saint's blade flashed, and my head was gone again. Speed so fast I only saw his arm lowering after the fact. Reset. Another day. Same conversation. Guessing a number I can't see proves nothing. Prophecy, mind reading, X-ray vision, any of those could explain it. Couldn't change his mind that easily. After dozens of deaths, I tried a different approach. Give me 5 days. Just don't kill me for 5 days. Follow me. Observe me. Judge for yourself whether I'm what you think. And someone from your future told me a name. Say this name and you'll believe I'm a prophet. The name is Sword Emperor. I had no idea who that referred to, but the Sword Saint went very still. 5 days, he said quietly. I'll watch your actions and make my own judgment. The conditions to prevent the Floor 12 tragedy were finally in place. When Floor 11 opened, the same story unfolded. But this time, with advanced intelligence shared to every guild, all hunters arrived prepared. The assault proceeded on schedule. He asked me, "Don't you love the attention? You'll get far less spotlight this time." "Doesn't matter. I'm satisfied either way." He muttered something that sounded dangerously close to a compliment. I found the dark sorceress in the middle of commanding her troops. I have a full battlefield map, enemy and allied positions. Why didn't you lead with that? She grabbed my hand without preamble, spiritual energy surging. She channeled it into the holy sword with a single swing, and the Demon King-class monster split in two. Incredible Jin Gongzi. Floor 11 cleared in under 2.5 hours. Fewer than 30 casualties. This wouldn't have happened without you. Having someone like you share intelligence made all the difference. In that moment, I realized the thrill of being watched had always been vanity. Actually helping people was the real victory. In Floor 12's castle hall, I raised my hand to speak. "Everyone, you remember our agreement? My request is this. Sit here and do nothing for 5 days. In those 5 days, I will clear Floor 20. Just 5 days. Please honor the promise." No one asked questions. They'd made a promise and they kept it. The traitor problem dissolved. No one was choosing any reward, so no traitor could emerge. The Sword Saint noted he hadn't made that specific agreement and would still be watching me. Fine by me, that was exactly what I wanted. I pushed open the gates and headed out. The map guided me to the Demon King's location. A pillar of black liquid fell from the sky. Bold, insignificant humans who ignore the choice I gave you. I drew the holy sword. This is the best choice. Defeat you and no one needs to die. No matter how many times I fall in these 5 days, no matter how long these 5 days last. A month, 2 years, 10,000 years. I refuse to watch any more of my companions fall. Every revival that buys even one more second means one fewer innocent death. Jin Gongzi. Fewer than 20 casualties. We're almost there. I didn't even know which revival this was. The dark sorceress grabbed my hand, eyes bright. Jin Gongzi, nobody died. Not a single person. Thank you. Some reckless hunters had gotten hurt, but 0 deaths. The Demon King erupted in fury. Insignificant insects. You dare defy me? Jin Gongzi. Is that the sorceress's skill? I'm sorry I didn't wait in the hall like I promised. I couldn't just stand by. She stepped to my side. Looks like I can't play the hero game solo after all. I was basically done anyway. Don't swoop in for the finishing blow. Another person? What difference does one more make? Actually, heroes prefer to fight in numbers. Spirit summoning. A horde of creatures surged from the Demon King's own shadow. The Sword Saint, who had been watching silently, assumed a combat stance. The sorceress told me to grab her hand and teleport us clear. No retreat needed. I said we fight in a group. I can call in backup too. Spirit summoning. Sword Emperor. Now do you see why I chose the skill? The skill says I can summon anyone I've personally killed. So, how many people have I personally killed? Just Yendi and yourself, right? Then why does the Sword Saint see over 4,000 above my head? At the sight of the skeleton army I'd summoned. Not just him and the sorceress, but even the Demon King froze in disbelief. How do you have the same summoning ability as me? Sword Saint, fight alongside these skeletons. Dark sorceress, support me. We go together. White spirits. Show me what you can do. Their attack power wasn't impressive. Their defense was mediocre. But they didn't die. Lose ahead, they kept moving. They could not be stopped. Foolish insect from World 1. You dare stand against me? What does where I'm from have to do with you? Tower notice. You have been given the title, Death King. The tower salutes the Death King. My skeleton army couldn't win against the Demon King alone. The gap in power was still too wide. I knew one round wasn't enough. Spirit summoning had a week-long cooldown, meaning each use cost me deaths. But I could grow stronger with every revival. I could learn the Demon King's attack patterns with every death. And when the cooldown reset, Spirit summoning. Sorceress. She attacks right side next. The sorceress conjured a mirror array. 5 mirrors assembled into a magical lance. Spiritual energy focused to a point. I couldn't help it, it just came out. Wonderful, my lady. Who are you calling your lady? I'm very young, thank you. And don't celebrate early. She's regenerating. The sorceress drove all 5 mirrors at the Demon King simultaneously. A skin-like layer began to peel away from the Demon King's form as her body dissolved into a vortex. Chuyu Demon King retreating to floor 13. Wait, we were so close. I've never seen a Demon King run before. Brat. I'll be back. We beat the Demon King. I pressed my hands over my eyes before the tears could fall. System. Hidden mission triggered. Floors 12 through 19 missions have been modified. Mission string. Warrior who stopped the world. Objective. Committed to allowing 0 casualties. This is called justice. Saving others while seeking no recognition. This is called sacrifice. A warrior who sacrifices for justice is the truest hero. The Demon King retreated while injured. If you choose to pursue, you can catch her. The choice is yours. Accept this mission. Do I even need to think about it? Yes. Activate hidden mission. A child born sick with no future. A desperate mother who placed every last hope in the Holy Woman. The Holy Woman's rule. Every patient must spend 1 night with her. Because the Holy Woman was the Demon King in disguise. She swallowed the child whole, then exhaled a mass of black liquid that slowly took the form of a new infant. The grieving mother believed the Holy Woman had cured her child. She had no idea her real child was gone. One rainy day, a dark mass gained awareness. It absorbed a frog and became a frog. As it grew, it found a human girl. Acting on pure primal instinct, it swallowed her. This was its first time being human. And this was the Demon King's first name, Estreld. As more and more villagers' illnesses were healed, they began calling her Holy Woman Estreld. Her following grew enough to unsettle the empire. Threatened, the empire sent an army to destroy her. To justify the attack, the empire called her a witch. Those soldiers moved like machines without feeling, massacring innocent villagers without hesitation. The entire settlement was burned to nothing. The Holy Woman knelt in the ash, scooping handfuls of charred earth, pressing it to her lips. This time, she could not bring her people back. A black liquid seeped from her eyes, spreading slowly, consuming her entire body, and eventually the village itself. Drowned in rage and grief, the Holy Woman became the Demon King. Why do you get to live as humans, while I'm treated as a monster? Do I really need to prove myself worthy of being human? Then prove yourselves to me instead. Starting now, you prove it. System. Demon King's psychological trauma concluded. I woke. As I came back to myself, the entire 12th floor began reverting, the battlefield gone, the city breathing again with ordinary life. The Demon King's retreat to floor 13 had erased all evidence of her presence in floors 11 and 12. Even General Yaking, once my greatest ally, had no memory of me at all. He demanded to know who I was and why I was standing on the Empire's walls without permission. I burst out laughing, not from sadness but satisfaction. I had kept the promise I made to Yaking. I had defended the Empire. No one remembered me now, but I didn't regret a single second. 0 casualties, hundreds of deaths and resets, hundreds of days of grinding, and I'd pushed the Demon King back. I was genuinely proud of myself. Even the tower's title for me had changed, Death King. I reached a hand to the sorceress. The three of us transmitted to floor 13. The humiliated Demon King was already waiting. Her furious roar put both the Sword Saint and sorceress into combat stance immediately. But he felt something off. The Demon King seemed noticeably weaker. Had taking that hit reduced her level? She feels about as strong as the Goblin King you killed with Kita Beauty on floor 5. I caught up immediately. Normally, Demon Kings should get stronger the higher you climb. System. Calculating floor 12 rewards. Cannot compute. All rewards will be compiled upon clearing floor 19. Interim reward issued. Floors 11 through 20 maps now fully unlocked. That explained it. Looking at the map, everything became clear. The Sword Saint and sorceress turned toward me simultaneously. Floor 12 returned to normal, and Yaking forgot the battle, which means the Demon King drew power from massacring soldiers and refugees. That history has been erased. She didn't get weaker. She reverted to her pre-leveled state. And every time we hunt her rank up, the tower says your existence becomes more distinct. I never understood that line until now. The lower your level, the more blurred your existence within the tower. The Demon King is now hazier than ever before. Then counterattack. White spirits, come out. The Demon King summoned her monsters, and immediately fled. Sword Emperor, wanna make a bet? How many times do I die before floor 19? Given your effort, I'll say under 100. I'll bet on under 99. I didn't finish the sentence before dying. Back. The sorceress asked why I hadn't used spirit summoning. Cooldown. Roughly 3 lives worth of time. 3 lives. She didn't understand the unit of measurement. Hard to explain. Anyway, Sword Saint, look at that stone coffin over there. What's worth looking at? Trust me. You'll see later. I'm the prophet, remember? He reluctantly walked over. You have died. Sword Saint, Sword Saint. That coffin has a hammer with an undying enchantment. One swing at the ground clears every zombie in range. I am the Sword Saint. You want me to use a hammer? Trust me. I'm the prophet. You have died. Sword Saint. Sure enough, one swing wiped almost every zombie clean. Then this Cyclops is mine, the Sword Saint declared confidently. The Cyclops raised a hand. You have died. Sword Saint. Sword Saint. Keep using the hammer on the remaining zombies. Leave the Cyclops to me. I cut in. I'm the prophet. Sorceress. Shoot your light beam at the Cyclops' eye. She immediately said the idea had already occurred to her, seeing that I made her want to hit it. Next second. You have died. Sorceress. Sorceress. I need to ask you something important. Whatever you do, do not shoot that eye. Why? Do you see that enormous eye? If you had a light beam ability and that eye was in front of you, could you honestly resist? Under my prophetic guidance, she managed, barely, to suppress the urge. Then all 3 of us combined and took the Cyclops down. Demon King retreats to floor 14. Her invasion of floor 13 was erased. The world returned to life. We continued. Floor 14. Enchanted Forest. Floor 15. Underwater Kingdom. Floor 16. Flame Dragon. Floor 19. The Demon King's presence had grown so faint she was barely there. I looked at her and felt no urgency. I drew the holy sword. Give it everything you have, or run again. Your choice. Foolish World 1 Humans, Estreld. I said her name aloud. She froze, stunned. And in that half-second of shock, my sword split her down the center. The holy sword launched her back. Her form shrank further. Choyu Demon King's existence becomes even more faint. Fall back. You can't win right now. Return to floor 20, your origin. Your start line. That starting point will also be your ending. The Sword Saint moved to deliver the finishing blow. The sorceress said, "Let the Death King have the last strike." The Demon King spat a few resentful words and retreated to floor 20. I turned to the Sword Saint and sorceress with one request. Let me go to floor 20 and end this alone. You've contributed the most since floor 11. No objection from me. After today, 5 days will have passed. Settle floor 20. Then let's talk. Just the two of us. I thanked them both and transmitted to floor 20. You have entered the Demon King's chamber. Challenger, Death King. One challenger only. May fortune be with you. Calculating rewards for floors 11 through 19. Calculation complete. Tower acknowledges your achievement. Adjusting Death King's permissions. Granting limited use of apostle-level authority. Excluding EX tier skills. You may now modify any skill you currently hold. I still didn't know who built this tower or why it existed. But I felt the answer getting closer. The tower wasn't just watching our choices. It was remembering them. It's time to end this. Do you want to turn back time and burn my village again? The Demon King summoned her greatsword. But this was the weakest version of her I had ever faced. I deflected her first strike without effort. Before, you were the Demon King and I was the hero. You attacked, I defended. Now it's reversed. How unpredictable. System. Choyu Demon King's existence grows even more faint. My final strike landed. The black liquid coating her body began to recede, revealing the face beneath. Revoke Choyu Demon King title. No, no, please. The girl collapsed and wailed. She wasn't moving, just crouched, hollowed out. Why? You burned my village. You killed my children. That wasn't enough. The people who did that were of this world. Yes, every one of them carries blame. But you're confused about something. I'm from World 1. That has nothing to do with me. But then again, I'm only here for the ones I chose to protect. So you're saying you've done nothing wrong? That girl, Estreld. She must have been just as terrified as you are now. Wasn't she? What exactly did you do to that girl? That mother entrusted her child to you, and you consumed her. You accepted all the worship under the name of a savior. I had no human consciousness then. No knowledge. I didn't know what I was doing. If I had known, I never would have hurt Estreld. But isn't that exactly what they did to you? I said it clearly. The soldiers who burned you alive, don't you think they said the same thing? We didn't know. We thought you were a witch, a monster. But those were lies. Carefully constructed lies. Did not even one of them ever say, I didn't know to your face. I know only one truth in this world. Cause and effect. If you believe the creatures you swallowed and regurgitated still count as human, then let me give you a taste of what it feels like to be human. Tower. I'm activating the completion reward. Request acknowledged. Modification permitted within limits. My request. Change spirit summoning. Summoned beings retain no memories of their former lives too. I may choose whether summoned beings retain their memories and original appearance. The girl's expression shattered. What are you going to do? Tower is weighing your request. Awaiting Zerakua's approval. A moment later, approved. Spirit summoning. Updated. You may summon those you have personally killed. You may now control whether they retain their original memories and appearance. Good. Now I'm going to kill you. Think of it as being absorbed the same way you absorbed Estreld and the sick children. And then, like you expelled those children, I'll restore you. Pathetic struggling. No technique. No swordsmanship whatsoever. He couldn't resist. This is why I've always wanted you to master the fundamentals. He sighed from the sideline. I had already shattered the sword from her grip. Time for the end. I raised the holy sword, then stopped. Wait! He cut in. Sorry to interrupt your dramatic moment, but she's no longer technically a monster. Is she human now? Or an NPC? Is she the same kind of human as you? Or does she belong to the tower? Are you sure spirit summoning works on NPCs? That question stopped me cold. The skill said, those you have personally killed. But it never specified whether NPCs were included. He suggested I ask the tower directly. I turned and posed the question. Tower. Forwarding query to Zerakua. However, this question exceeds tower jurisdiction. A sharp, ringing hum filled my mind. Verifying questioner's authority level. Authority confirmed. Death King has been granted temporary apostle level authority. Tower considers this a formal agenda item. Tower initiating vote among the 6 great apostles. A flash of light, and I found myself in the familiar revival space. Confirming attendees. 6th apostle, the ancient staff. 5th apostle, resonance that wanders the mirage. 4th apostle, God is the blind moon. 3rd apostle, first one to write the law. 2nd apostle, God who dances in the void. I couldn't see anything, only darkness. But I could feel presences. Overwhelming, immense. Vote beginning. May spirit summoning targets include NPCs? They spoke in a language I couldn't follow. Inside the tower, all languages auto-translated. These beings were clearly outside the tower's framework. They might be the tower's designers themselves. Vote result. 2 in favor, 2 opposed, 1 abstained. 1 vote outstanding. The tower had not introduced the final voter. The tower's master. I addressed the tower directly. I believe spirit summoning should apply to NPCs. If it doesn't, how did the Demon King summon so many monsters? And the people she killed, aren't they NPCs too? You might worry I'll start massacring tower NPCs for power. But I'm not that kind of person. I won't be. That sounds quite reasonable. A voice gentle yet vast. Unhurried. Don't think about how to convince me. Say what you actually mean. I looked down and smiled quietly. She's my prey. Don't let anyone else touch her. Vote result. First great apostle, master of all life, votes in favor. Spirit summoning may now include NPCs. Consciousness snapping back. He was shouting my name, asking why I'd been standing frozen. I realized he hadn't come with me to the revival space this time. Even a man who reached floor 99 of World 1 had no idea the tower's master existed. I composed myself and returned to the girl. I raised my hand toward the black liquid pooled on the ground. Awaken. The girl slowly materialized from the dark. Stand up. Your appearance is unchanged from before. But the name Estreld was borrowed, stolen. You no longer have any right to it. I'm giving you a new name. Evil Spirit. From this day forward, that is who you are. The girl named Evil Spirit lowered herself slowly. Yes, Master. I will follow your orders. He didn't understand why someone who'd just been defeated would submit this simply. You'll understand soon, I told him. As the Demon King fell, Floor 20's village reverted, untouched by flame, restored to what it had been. Then a girl collapsed to the ground, clutching at me. She begged me to save her village. She would do anything I commanded, no resentment, no revenge. I will. A lord has a duty to protect those who serve. He finally understood. Then the sound of boots on stone, General Yaking arrived, with envoys from every kingdom represented in floors 13 through 19, here to suppress the witch and her followers. But they didn't recognize me. Who are you? How dare you obstruct our mission? You want to know who I am? See for yourself. I drew the holy sword. It blazed immediately. General Yaking dismounted and dropped to one knee. His soldiers followed. We greet the imperial envoy. He was impressed I could even bluff this convincingly. Bluffing requires confidence, he said. Fool the other person by first fooling yourself. The other kingdom envoys weren't as convinced. The holy sword apparently only worked on Ijing soldiers. General Yaking asked carefully why an imperial envoy would be in this place. I remembered what he'd said, confidence. Because the witch has been defeated by me. I gestured toward Evil Spirit. Estreld. She is the Western witch. I waved her forward. She knelt without hesitation, forehead to the ground. Hold that pose and do a forward roll. Then 20 jumping jacks. 10 bunny hops. 20-second plank. By the time Evil Spirit was face down on the ground, unable to move. You see? The witch has been defeated. She will obey me completely and never threaten the continent again. The general's jaw fell open wide enough to fit several fists. Well, if the great envoy says so. But a soldier nearby wasn't buying it. A single rusty sword and you claim to be an imperial envoy? How dare you call this a rusty sword? The soldiers bickered loudly, starting to sound like they might fracture into factions. That reminded me exactly why the Demon King had worked so hard to drive the heroes apart. Then a figure pushed through the crowd. The Floor 15 Underwater Kingdom's magic wielder. He said there was a simple way to settle this. A soul orb. Drop blood on the orb, good-hearted blood glows white. Evil-hearted blood turns black. Any objection to being tested? None. And if you have more tests, bring them all. He pulled evil spirit forward, channeled power into the orb, drew a drop from her palm. The orb went pitch black. What crimes has this woman committed? How many lives has she taken? He shook his head at her and tossed her aside. Your turn. He drew from my palm. My blood touched the orb. The orb blazed white, blinding light that forced every person in the crowd to shield their eyes. The magic wielder looked up, unable to bear the brightness. This soul, this radiance. How many lives did you save? She must be a being of pure light. The soldier beside him was bewildered. The magic wielder, still moved to tears, explained in a trembling voice, a soul of this quality would never deceive us. Even if she lied, it would only be to protect us. She truly is an imperial envoy. That's right. I'm actually the goddess's messenger. After that, the crowd below began whispering, gradually persuaded. But one deeply stubborn soldier still pressed. Even if she's the goddess's messenger and defeated the witch, those who followed the witch can't just walk free. So why is she blocking our path? He whispered beside me. The highest tier of bluffing is 90% truth, 10% invention. I gave a short, cold laugh. Does a goddess's messenger need your approval for how she operates? A snap of my fingers. An army of smoke-wreathed skeletons erupted from my shadow. Every soldier stumbled back screaming. Every evil presence in this village has already been cleansed by me. Must a goddess's messenger announce every action to the world? Those who were wicked can only live within my shadow now. I am their hell. You need not punish the witch further. After hearing my speech, he declared I was ready to be independent. Compared to me, he looked remarkably innocent. But he was already worried. Could I actually control these vicious demons? I snapped my fingers again. From the shadows, a skeleton materialized. One soldier nearby immediately started screaming for his mother. Every evil presence has already been dealt with. Must I explain every detail of divine housekeeping? Those evils now live inside my shadow forever. I am their hell. You need not concern yourselves with punishing the witch. I am the only punishment she will ever need. After finishing my speech, he said I was ready to graduate. He then worried quietly whether I could control these brutal specters. I snapped my fingers again. White spirit, restore your memories and your appearance. The skeleton turned. It was Yendi. He spun around and grabbed my collar immediately. I don't know you. We've never met. What gives you the right to do this to me? I'll kill you for this. See? This one is more evil than the Demon King herself. Another snap. Dance. Even as Yendi's mouth kept screaming threats, his body began to move against his will. Even the most skeptical soldier dropped to his knees. We pledge our loyalty to the messenger of the goddess. Tower notification. Hidden mission warrior who stopped the world. Cleared. Demon King mission cleared. Rewards will be distributed upon entering floor 21. I touched evil spirit's head. I promised you. No blood in the sky today. No fire on the ground. This is the ending I wanted. He asked quietly, is Yendi's fate the ending you wanted too? After exiting the tower, the sword saint had asked to meet me at the top of a tall building. He drew his sword. Then he activated the skill, Detective Eye. I'll ask you one final time. Have you ever taken an innocent life? Never. I swear it. Not before. Not ever. The old man went silent for a long moment. Then, with deliberate calm, he raised his hand and shattered his own detective eye. From now on, I judge with my own eyes. I became too dependent on this skill without realizing it. And I nearly destroyed an innocent person because of it. Thank you for cooperating with a stubborn old man these 5 days. And I'm glad I got to climb 20 floors with someone like you. He leapt from the building and vanished. I turned to him, disbelieving. Did the sword saint just acknowledge me? I let out a long shout and sank to the ground. He finally acknowledged me. Satisfied so easily? He said, needling me from above. A voice appeared. The guardian goddess is moved by your achievement. The guardian goddess believes you are worthy of becoming her true messenger. I looked down at the direction the voice came from. Wait, are you telling me the guardian goddess is this sword? Guardian goddess. Confirmed. According to the sword itself, the empire's founder, Lipantayaking, had split himself into 5 swords and sealed them all. She was the first holy image, and the second sword is compassion. Third, wish. Fourth, sacrifice. Fifth, redemption. Collect all 5 and the goddess can reclaim her peak power. That's impressive. So where are the other 4? I waited. I'm asking you directly. Don't tell me you don't know. The guardian goddess exercises her right to remain silent. So you actually have no idea. Then what's the point of being a legendary holy sword? The guardian goddess exercises her right to remain silent. Which basically means you don't know, right? Then what exactly are you good for? The sword blazed with light and proudly announced it could emit blinding holy radiance. He doubled over laughing. I stared at it. I've already seen plenty of that. The guardian goddess is very confident in her ability to defeat monsters. She is equally confident in her ability to defeat humans. So besides glowing, you can't do anything else. You don't get to be called Holy Sword anymore. That name is too good for you. From now on, your name is Shiny. The guardian goddess is offended and has no words. There was a knock at the door. The dark sorceress. She'd come to drag me out to face the reporters. After clearing floor 20, my hunter ranking had jumped to 3rd, right behind Sword Saint and Dark Sorceress. Every paper and social platform was flooded with news about the Death King. I had no real choice. I followed her out. She took the microphone. As you all know, we have cleared floors 11 through 20 of the tower. That is remarkable, yes. But when I call it remarkable, it's not because of how fast we did it. What truly moves me is this. Not one person was lost. 0 casualties. That is the real achievement worth celebrating. Look down. Every stone beneath your feet bears the name of someone who died challenging these same floors before us. In the past, just clearing floors 2 and 3 filled this place with names. Today, not a single new name will be added here. The moment she finished, camera flashes swallowed her completely. 5 minutes until floor 21 opened. A reporter stood and raised a hand. Dark Sorceress, what exactly is the nature of your relationship with the Death King? She smiled. Just slightly, just dangerously. We are comrades. Partners who go beyond friendship, nothing more. Please don't let your imaginations run away. She pulled me from the room and back to the private area. I asked why she'd made a point of saying beyond friendship. It was going to fuel endless speculation. She shrugged. I threw out a decoy. The media will dig for gossip regardless. Better they focus on me than on you. She paused. Right? I see. I felt something that was probably disappointment. Couldn't quite explain why. Then the countdown started from the crowd outside. 5 seconds to floor 21. The angel NPC appeared in the sky again. Hunters of the tower, you could have chosen to remain comfortable on the lower floors. But your commitment, as shown in your assault from floor 10 to 20, has made your resolve clear. You want to see what lies at the tower's summit. The tower has seen your resolve. From this moment, you are the tower's chosen warriors. The angel didn't wait for a response. Forced transmission. By the time I registered what was happening, I was already inside the tower. A child appeared above us. Welcome to the library of 10,000 forms. Every book here corresponds to a real world within the multiverse. Fantasy worlds of love and magic. Martial arts worlds of sex and shadow clans. Every book here is called an apocalypse. This place is called the Library of 10,000 Forms because it houses uncountable real universes. Now consider this possibility. The world you currently inhabit, Could it also be just one of these books? And are you merely characters written inside it? The child smiled with unsettling calm. He was the library's administrator. His name, Horoscope. These words were clearly designed to destabilize. Every world recorded here is real. Several hunters had already started toward Horoscope to argue. I grabbed the dark sorceress before she reached him. Everything here is being broadcast live to the outside world. Act out, and you'll give everyone watching an easy reason to judge you. She paused, then settled. She remembered, in her previous life she'd watched Floor 30 attempts from the public square. You done. Horoscope pulled out an apocalypse and opened it slowly. Massive black tentacles unfurled from the book and wrapped around the nearby hunters, dragging them inside. Every human in this apocalypse has been destroyed. Only one mage remains. As long as I occasionally send him gifts, he's very willing to help me with small favors. Then he expelled several bookmark-shaped figures from the book. They became his servants. Now, who among you wishes to be the protagonist? Horoscope said it with a cold, flat calm. The crowd shrank back. Then the tower chimed, distributing Floor 20 completion rewards. Standard reward, Beauty God's Gecko. You may observe the goodwill levels of characters appearing in floors 21 through 30. Hidden mission reward, Serpent God's Gecko. You may observe the psychological state of characters appearing in floors 21 through 30. I looked at the dark sorceress and activated the character window. Not only could I see her 4.5-star goodwill toward me, I could see exactly what she was thinking right now, and her preferences, and she apparently loved romance stories. Knight in shining armor types. He was already shaking with silent laughter. She's this age and still chasing princes? Zombie. Should I get a horse for you too? He'd been calling me zombie ever since I started summoning skeletons. Apparently the skill worked on him too. Wait, preference, mama. I fought desperately to keep a straight face. If anyone saw me smiling for no reason, there'd be no way to explain it. Through floor 30, not a single word out of you, or I'll open the psychological window and let you cheer me up. I looked at the crowd's low morale and stepped forward. Everyone now understands we can't casually challenge this horoscope, which means our only path is to follow the mission parameters he's set. Look at the task panel. We save this world, and it becomes the Floor 22 challenge. So if we choose a world full of diamonds, or a world overflowing with food, minerals, and resources, imagine the rewards waiting after we clear Floor 22. Ooh, clever, Horoscope said flatly. But pick carefully. He was still watching us with that cold stare. I picked up the nearest book and addressed the group. Start sorting by interest. Form groups. Look for worlds where the clearing conditions are high probability, and where completing it benefits us after the fact. What counts as a bad book? The heretic inquisitor raised her hand. Something like volcano survival where nuclear war has already happened. Even if we save that world, what's left to gain? Like an island nation already poisoned by nuclear contamination, what could possibly come of rescuing it? I happened to glance at the dark sorceress. She had chosen a mystery genre book. She was supposed to love romance stories. Zombie. Want to get a horse and show off for her? Ever since I started summoning skeletons, he'd been calling me that. What I hadn't expected was that the skill apparently worked on him too. Wait, preference, mama. I fought desperately to keep a straight face. If anyone caught me smiling for no reason, there'd be no explaining it. Through floor 30, not one word out of you, or I'll open the psychological window and let you cheer me up whenever I'm in a bad mood. Looking at the crowd's crushed morale, I stepped forward. Everyone now understands we can't simply challenge horoscope, which means our only option is to work within the mission he's laid out. Check the task panel, save a world, and that world becomes Floor 22's challenge stage. So what if the world we save is filled with diamonds, or overflowing with food, and resources of every kind? By the time we clear Floor 22, do you think the rewards will be small? Ooh, clever, Horoscope said with the same cold expression. Just don't pick wrong. I picked up the nearest book and addressed the group. Split into teams based on interest. Start reading. Look for worlds with high completion odds and strong post-clear benefits. Now, what makes a book a bad pick? The Heretic Inquisitor raised her hand. Something like volcano survival, nuclear war already happened in that world. Rescuing it gives us nothing useful. An island nation already saturated with nuclear contamination. What's the point? I happened to glance over at the Dark Sorceress. She had picked up a mystery novel. Didn't she love romance? I played dumb and asked casually, "Didn't take you for a detective fiction fan?" Of course I am. I'm a woman of intellect.